everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Colts going up against the Broncos. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back. In the win column. 2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nice move. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
If anything, I think Joe Flacco's underrated. He's a guy who leads his team to a lot of wins during the regular season, elevates his play in the postseason, and has a Super Bowl ring, was a Super Bowl MVP. Yet many times he doesn't get mentioned with the top quarterbacks in the league.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. Give him 11 on the gain there, and the Colts are going to have a first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On second down, Flacco to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Kobe Flainer, the tight end, his intended target. And it's third down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
8 yards still remaining here on third down. Play action. Flacco. He's got time. Still back there. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Green 39. Green 39.
Again, they run with Gurley. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense.
Here we go. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Able to locate Wilson. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Gurley again here on first down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Well, the entire 2015 season featured no ties in the National Football League, but we get one here in the 2016 season, don't we?
Yeah, and it's really odd because to go through the whole time and not have that happen, because teams tend to get a little more conservative at times when you get to overtime. That's why the ties often result. But as you said, in 2015, not at all. But here we are here. Have one going.
By the way, the last tie, if you're scoring with us at home, and if you are, God bless you. October 2014, the Bengals and the Panthers in Cincy, they tied 37 apiece.
Did you have that one yourself, or did you get that one from Marvin?
No, I was taking a nap.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Koamisi in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And the seemingly endless drive continues. On third down, he'll drop to throw. The left side completion to Jones. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Novak's kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Second down now after the pass completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Flacco. Over the middle, it's Thomas. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2nd down, just 1 yard to go. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
And none whatsoever. Flacco, left side and caught by Flainer. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And again, it's Flacco to throw. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. And some space here. Picked off here. Down the numbers. There he goes. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it hit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went in the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Flacco from midfield. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Once more, it's Flacco. And he's got it over the middle. Flainer. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Throwing here on 1st down. Flacco. He's got his guy. It's Patton over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Here's Hartline over the middle with it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
And they're going to speed things up here. Flacco will take to the air again. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Quentin Patton as the first half is winding down. And the Colts able to get this back with it, a touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, spinning away. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The former 49er, Aldon Smith. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Third down at the 16. The connection will be made from the gun, and he'll end up at their own 40-yard line before being tackled. Unfortunately, they would have to settle for just a field goal. Colts lined up at the 23. Under pressure here, the pass is picked off. Moore is the one who would run it back for the score. That takes the lead up to 10. Now 1st and 10, Patton's got the catch here on the quick pass, and it's going to end up going for a gain of 17. Sticking with the same drive, Patton's the target here, and this play goes for a score. Colts now down by just 3. So that'll wrap it up for us here at the EA Sports Studio. We'll head back now to Denver for the start of the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up a throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey, guys, check me out. Watch it now, Barney. Crunch.
On first down, it's Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Time running out here on the play clock. On second down, here's Crowell. Room here to run. Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play that time for the Colts. 88 yards. So an incredible run, and that actually beats the long run from 2015, which was 87 yards.
Yeah, that was Marcus Mariota.
Quarterback.
Yeah, not so bad, is it? But these guys who can run the football nowadays, doesn't matter whether they're a quarterback or a running back, they know how to take it a long way.
And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop it.
They'll try and punch it in with Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Brian Hartline, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts have taken the lead. And that makes it 14-10. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
The one running back is Gurley. He's going to get the football. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Tackle made that time by Jay Howard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson, a good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Watch left. Watch left. Watch the run. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Gurley.
39.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line, that room to run just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So awfully close that time, but his kick's going to come up short by about the length of the football.
Yeah, Brandon, he got a little help from the mile-high air, but that one just didn't quite get there.
Passing play. Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Willie Young in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That one good for 14 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On third down, Crowell. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Right side caught by Jackson. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He'll look to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Certainly not the numbers that he was hoping for. Rough last week, rough again here.
And I've got to tell you, I'm surprised because I'm used to guys bouncing back from tough performances, but right now it appears he's in a little bit of a rut. So whoever the guy is on the team that he trusts the most, whether it's the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, one of his friends.
Pep talk.
Yeah, it's pep talk time. It's time to get into his head a little bit and try and see if he can get him straightened out.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Back to throw. Surveying the field. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. So with next to nothing left on the clock, they get Charles what should be the game-winning touchdown catch.
That felt so much like practice and preparation coming together. So many times your last practice of the week, you score the game-winning touchdown. Everyone leaves the field feeling good about themselves. They got it done for real in this situation.
Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. Oh, look at the juke. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. Well, they got themselves in position to at least entertain the thoughts of an overtime, but as it turns out, it was not meant to be, Charles.
And you feel bad for a kicker in this spot. He's going to have to shoulder a lot of the blame, but in reality, this will be a team loss. They didn't do enough collectively to get the job done.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Double tight. Double tight. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Denver, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the San Diego Chargers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.